Wow, if you only knew what we were talking about before we pressed live. It's unbelievable. That's another show.
Totally.
Welcome to Progressive Auto Sales Arena, everybody. Here tonight as Sarnia State getting ready to take on the North Bay Battalion. And what are we going to see tonight? We've seen some interesting hockey in the past few games. Not a bad crowd here tonight. I know they're looking for some changes out on the arena floor. And we'll see what happens here tonight. Jake Cherski, thanks for being here tonight for the pregame.
Thanks for having me.
We're talking interesting hockey here. We sort of talked about what we're going to talk about here. Let's go back to the game of Saginaw. Interesting game for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the most talked about subject in that game is the blindside hit that came from Jamison Reese.
Yeah, you know, it's always so tough, right? Like, a blindside hit, he hit him in the front. At some point you're a hockey player, you gotta, we say it in football, and I know that you say it in hockey, keep your head on a swivel. And I don't know, it was, but I don't know if it was. Like, how do you put your shoulder into someone's chin and it's blindsided?
A jaw was broken.
Sorry. That's the OHL's problem for not having screens, full cages then.
Right, okay.
I guess they're not protecting their players.
All right. It's, there's two sides to this coin here,
Yeah.
and there's other people out there that would agree with you. And then there's other people that say, hey, he didn't mean to, but who are the people sitting at the table now that are going to make this decision on what does he get? Some people I'm hearing saying, well, first offense, it should only be 5 games. Then it could be 10. We're hoping for 7. Could be 20 plus.
Yeah.
How does that decision get made, I wonder?
We got a player that's skating towards the net. He's not making a move at all whatsoever. You got the Sting player coming from, arguably the top of the face-off circle to his left. The player's still skating forward. He manages to put his shoulder into the player's. He didn't jump. He didn't really even flex much.
Yeah.
He just created a car wreck. And then all of a sudden he's supposed to, what's he supposed to just tag him and then they score and we lose the game because I was scared to hit him? I mean, we saw this with Hatcher in his first full season up with here. He gets a few suspensions for some big hits.
Yeah.
And so you soften the player. He doesn't make an NHL career because he now is playing scared to hit.
Well, you talked about that last week when we were here.
Yeah.
We talked about players that are hurt and then they come back and then they kind of take the gas pedal off a little bit, especially coming into the playoff season. I don't want to get hurt again, but people are watching and we're looking for this player that we're not seeing now because
yeah.
And like you say, I guess careers missed because of these kinds of things. There's a lot of decisions being made out there, and there's a lot of decisions being made by several pairs of eyes that come and watch these players.
One of the biggest things I think you got to think of when you watch the highlight, how many times do you watch the highlight and slow it down? The game's not going that fast. The game's going way faster than that.
Yeah.
It's a split decision of whether he pulls up or whether he slash him. I don't think the league wants, our players to be using sticks and poking at your belly and stuff like. You got to hit him, and he didn't do anything irrational. There was nothing that he did.
I knew I should have had the replay ready to queue up. We could be playing that a bunch of times right now.
Yeah, you would have did it slow-mo and I would have been totally wrong.
Well, but it's a good point. There's another point that leads into that there, because you make some really good points there about the game doesn't go that slow, and things happen differently when there's a different pace. Let's talk about goal review, or any kind of review sometimes in different sports. Look at football's a really good example, right? The referees are human.
Absolutely.
Human error is going to happen.
Yep.
Now, there is a percentage that's human error, and then if it keeps happening, it's human laziness.
Well, that person's not built for the job,
right?
Go find another job that you excel at.
If the puck goes in, there was last home game, Saginaw. There was whoa, what a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Was a goal, wasn't a goal. Put the guy that thought they got the goal, take the goal away from him, put him back in the penalty box, and give the goal to the other guy.
Right.
Right.
And that's because we're allowed to do that. But what about this idea?
Oh, boy. Look
what about there's a highlight crew up there. They obviously see the play, and because everybody was like, they know what went on. So while they're taping still the game, instead of watching the game, why don't they do the highlight? If they see that it was a goal, they ring down to the box and say, stop the play, that was a goal. Because when you look at it, the Sting had to continue to kill a minute and 30 seconds or something like that off that penalty. The players played another 3 or 4 minutes of hockey.
Right.
There's a higher chance of now we're talking risk again.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a higher chance when you add, if every hockey game now had a 24-minute period, there's 12 extra minutes in a game. So there's more risk to getting hurt. Like, everything could snowball the opposite way, right? But why can't you give, if we're going to use the highlight, which I agree, I like that idea, I love it actually, because then it does take away for a goal to be disallowed or allowed and it shouldn't have been or whatever. So why don't we use that on our behalf to help the game get better? And then they automatically just ring it down because it can stop the play. The buzzer goes, everything stops. And then the boys aren't 2 and 3 minutes, because when we did score the second goal.
What if I'm on my way to score another goal and you stop my play?
Or what happens if the other team, we get a penalty, they're keeping the puck away from us, the other team score on that power play, the penalty shouldn't count because it's just like missing time all of a sudden. And they could be able to find it in 30 seconds. That's all I got to say. I got this gap in my teeth and I don't know why. But...
We're reinventing hockey here tonight, folks. You know, interesting conversation. How about this? How about this? When the goal is shot into the messy stuff, like our friend Jay Peckham would call it, if it hits the messy stuff, if that guy behind the goal, the guy with the... Why do we even need him? If we're just going to do reviews, like if it's in, it's in. The referee calls whether it's in or not. What do we need the guy with the light for? The light goes on with 0.1 second left in the game, and a review. The switch was flipped, the referee called it, it's in.
Each team plays 68 games. Those guys probably get $50 a game. That's $100 a game that every team could save. So $100, what's 100 times 34?
They're not going to like us.
3,400. Well, no, the Sting saved $3,400 this year because we could have the people that were paying up there to do that job too.
Interesting.
And we have 2 refs now.
Yeah.
To me, it clutters the ice, but if there's another set of eyes, we're paying them anyway. Why are we keep paying? Hey.
And you know what you could do with that extra money? You could go down to 988 Confederation Street and go see Philly cheesesteak.
There it is.
You can do that a couple times a month. I was there today, actually. I know I've been threatening to come by for some time. Yeah. I finally got there.
I'm glad you did.
I don't have to, like, sometimes later at night I need a snack. I don't need one of those later.
Well, you had a special one. I usually make you something special, and it's off the menu. So today we had a Philly footlong. It was a footlong hot dog with Philly topping and cheese.
I'm not hungry, Jake, and that was at 4 o'clock. All right, let's talk hockey. The Sarnia Sting playing host to the North Bay Battalion here today. It's crunch time. These two teams, North Bay 4th in their division, we're 3rd in ours. Both have 55 points and about the same wins and losses. You think that would dictate what we're going to see here tonight? But as we've learned, these stats have been lying to us most of the season as to which way the game can go.
Yeah, usually, I mean, there's always a weaker side, a strong side being in the East and the West, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how we do. Big return for Theo Calvis that got traded to North Bay. So I just saw Mr. Calvis over there, and it reminded me of that. So it should be interesting. I mean, he's got a few buddies, but are we just friends on Facebook, or are we friends on the ice?
Always interesting to see when the whistle blows.
Good thing is we know that Jameson won't be playing, and there'll be no chance for a blindside hit, which I don't think
anybody wants to see any more of that this year. Right, okay. They're coming out onto the ice.
I hear the buzz.
I hear the buzz, and we're going to keep the buzz, the buzz. I'm still thinking about those rules you were coming up with.
Thank God we don't have a tip cup, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right, I better get out of here before I say something he shouldn't. Sarnia Sting coming out on the ice, getting ready to take on North Bay Battalion. Of course, as always, follow us along on social media. Twitter, I'll be updating you on our Facebook as well. Jake, you're the special guest co-host. Jake Peckham is not here tonight. Apparently, he had other important commitments to look after. That's fine. I said, no problem. I mean, Jake can step up. No
I'm a
problem,
good filler guy.
That's right. So
I actually take more room up behind this part anyway, so
less. Okay.
He's taller.
Ethan Langevin starting in goal tonight. Again, okay, that's it. I'm ending this now. For the show live on location with the Video Show Network and my dear good friend, Jake Cherski. We'll talk to you soon.